Right, so let's talk about the scene. So just showing you this image first to kind of reiterate that this is the result that we are after, this kind of clean render, soft light, soft shadows, contact shadows, and so on. So we'll have a look at those scenes towards the end of the course, but right now, when I set it up for myself, to try to figure all this stuff out and to establish something a bit definite, a bit rock solid, it occurred to me that I had to do a lot of rendering iterations. So what happens with Unreal is that it's very predictable. When you set something at this size, it will render exactly the same. Workflow will render at this size. It's not like, if some of you maybe V-Ray users have noticed, sometimes we work at low res and then we render the light cache, for example, at high res, splotches appear and things like that. This does not happen with Unreal, so we can work small and then scale up very comfortably. So I went on the internet and looked for this soft lighting photography as a reference. And I came on the website of Carl Hansen, carlhansen.com. And they've got some really lovely photography. I encourage you to go and check it out. Obviously, really nice furniture as well. So any photography of this kind with a very high quality is a great way to start your work. If you're going to go portfolio pieces, I highly recommend to look at these high quality images. So I found this and I thought, great, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 materials, maybe very simple, then the chrome. And I liked how the reflection shown in the shadow areas and the soft lighting contact. So I thought, brilliant. Downloaded the chair and the pot and table from the website, which you can do as well. And it's worked great as well because there were some problems with the unwrapping, so we can deal with that in a real life situation of furniture we'd be downloading from a manufacturer's website like this. So we'll have a look at that later. But I just wanted to show you this reference and just observe how the soft shadow here on the armchair and then the contact shadow, and here that shadow going from sharp in the corner to very, very soft, and same thing with the stool. So that was a great reference to work from. So I use 3ds Studio Max. If this is the only module with 3ds Studio Max in it, if I'm trying to be as generic as possible so that nothing is too specific but I'll assume that in ArcViz most people will be familiar at least with 3ds Studio Max or a 3D package as such. So in terms of what we're going to deal with here, I'm just going to show you a little bit the model. Very, very simple. And we'll take videos for the unwrapping. So here the model is super, super simple. I looked at the reference and just sort of made a judgment. First thing I always do, I have to say, I bring in a person, and it helps me greatly to deal with the scale because otherwise we'd go into complete randomness. I make sure that all my units are in centimeters here and not here, so make sure centimeters makes your life much easier. And then I've got this UE4 FBX exporter that is called TS Tools that you can download. So that's very, very useful. So with regards to the model, I made sure that everything was with back faces hidden, so that's why we're seeing inside this box. And in order to block out the rays from outside, from the environment, I made this outer box, which enabled me to have complete control over this opening. With regards to the materials in here, I had a sub-object material with two materials, one applied, and so I was able to export that as one object with two materials on it. And I named everything according to the convention outlined on the Epic website about having prefixes, so static mesh and so on. So it helps a lot with textures and static meshes inside of Unreal. Right, so I've downloaded these and they were really good models. I had to actually remodel the table, but that's very, very simple. Okay, so that's about it for the 3D model. Very, very simple. Let's talk about unwrapping of the walls in the next video.